Welcome to another day of the Drinking Trends Drinks by the Drum Advent Calendar Gin Challenge. And Merry Christmas. It's Christmas Day and we have 3 gins to taste today. As you will have noticed, I haven't quite made it through the 24 before Christmas, so that just means a couple of days after Christmas are even going to be slightly more merry than usual. First gin today is £50. £50 gin is made by a very interesting chap by the name of Charles Maxwell in a distillery down in Clapham called Thames Distillery. Now, Thames Distillery you may or may not have heard of before, but you will definitely have drunk gin that has been distilled there because they distill over 60 gins in Thames Distillers, so they're known very well within the industry as a high quality contract distillers, and this is their own expression called £50. £50 is named after one of the early gin acts from the 1700s that attempted to regulate and control the distillation production of gin. Essentially, you had to pay a £50 license in order to distill gin, and that was one of the pieces of legislation that came in to try to control the gin craze and to up the level of quality of gin that's being produced at the time. They have got, I believe, in the region of 13 to 14 botanicals in here. On the nose, quite sharp, piney style of juniper. It is quite a high ABV. I think it's 43.5, so we're well into the premium territory with this. There's a lot of, I'm going to go for a second taste on this, but there's quite a lot of spice in this. Now, they don't say exactly what the botanical batch is from £50. But I'm getting a bit of cassia and a lot of licorice, that style of gin in there. So very juniper forward, very robust style of gin. And I'm always gonna drop that into the ice-filled highball glass along with a slice of lime, as we're doing for every gin in the series. This is a gin that would be very much an excellent martini gin. It's got enough backbone, it's quite robust, and again, so it's a martini Negroni style of gin. Yeah, this is an excellent gin, works very well in the gin and tonic, stands up very well. It's not towards your floral, new modern style of gin, it's very much in a traditional London dry style. It's actually the first time I've ever tasted this gin, so I'll go for a second taste. Classic, robust, lots of dry citrus, good sharp juniper. Excellent gin. Gin number 2 today is also an English gin. So this first one we had £50 London dry gin distilled in London. This is Lake Distillery, which is a modern distillery from Cumbria, named after the lakes. This is going to be slightly more robust as it is 47.1% ABV, and this is a gin done very much in a terroir style. They use, I think it's 14 botanicals. They use local juniper, they use meadowsweet, they use bilberry, they use heather, all of which are sourced from around the lakes, the Lake District in Cumbria. So on the nose you get that heathery, brackish style of juniper and botanical note coming in. Yeah, again, it's a terroir style of gin, so it's taking botanicals from the local area and trying to capture the essence of the area. So you do get very much kind of walk through the gorse, walk through the heather type of character with this gin. Not going to taste too much of it without dilution anymore because it's 47.1. I've got one more gin to go after this. Lake's Distillery are also distilling whiskey at the moment. I'm not sure if it's quite come to maturation yet, the whiskey, but they're one of a number of new distilleries that have opened throughout England, Scotland, Wales and Ireland over the last few years, where they start to make whiskey, and in order to keep the revenue turning while they're waiting for the whiskey stocks to mature, they make gin, they make vodka. I like what they're doing because they're really, their point of difference for the lakes is they're capturing the local area of the Lake District. Obviously, it's a very famous national park in England, and so it's got a certain terroir, a certain provenance that goes with that. Cheers. Yeah, very much walk through the heather gorse. Got the slightly woody character going on there. Bit of bitterness, quite a lot of sharp florality. Excellent. Gin number 3. Merry Christmas to me. Gin number 3 is something that pretty much everybody who's a gin fan will already be familiar with. It is Tanqueray No. 10. Tanqueray No. 10, not to be confused with Tanqueray Export. They are both around 47.3. I think they both have the same ABV. Tanqueray Export. Tanqueray's been going as a gin for about 180 years. Tanqueray Export is pretty much what most people consider to be the benchmark of a London dry gin. It only has 4 botanicals: juniper, coriander seed, licorice, and the other one's escaping momentarily. I'll come back to it. In the meantime, I'll have a quick nose of Tanqueray 10. Tanqueray 10 is different because it's distilled in their small experimental still called still number 10 or Tiny 10, which is where the gin gets its name. And essentially what they do is they make Tanqueray and then they put it in for a second distillation. Second distillation will have chamomile, orange, lemon and grapefruit. But the difference is that whereas most gins, when they have citrus in the botanical batch, they'll have the dried skin of the citrus. In the second distillation for Tanqueray 10, they put in fresh grapefruit, fresh lemon, fresh orange. And so the resulting gin is exceptionally bright, wonderful for rickeys, wonderful for the lighter style of gin cocktail, like let's say a Southside. Bright, fresh, fruity, zesty, floral. You do get a slight bit of black pepper coming through as well, which you can get from some of the juniper, sometimes from juniper. Gonna top this up. So whereas we started with £50, which would be more in your kind of winter style of gin, Tanqueray 10 is very much a summer style of gin. So, cheers. Very citrusy, but bright and lively citrusy because I use the fresh citrus rather than the dry citrus peel. So there we have it. On Christmas Day, we have got £50 gin. Very traditional style of gin made by a master distiller who is behind the creation of about 60 different types of gin, and he's been distilling since 1976, I believe. Lake's Gin. Very modern style of gin. Lake's Distillery in Cumbria, using local botanicals to capture the terroir of the region. And Tanqueray 10, a modern twist on one of the great gins of the world. Very bright, fresh, zesty, and one for everybody. I'm going to choose one of them, and I'm going to give one to my lovely sister Claire, who's been helping me filming today. So in the meantime, I'm just going to wish you a happy Christmas and happy drinking. Cheers.